Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the AMX 13105 AM Mini 50. It's the Tier 5 French SPG. It's located on the south spawn of Fisherman's Bay, and this one is under the command of ProvoBob. And this is the first of a series of three replays featuring the same vehicle. Now, I'm running these teeth in for somebody else. Okay, let's see how it gets on. Now, as it said in the name, 105. It's a 105mm howitzer. It's a French gun, French design. It's got a maximum range of 15 kilometers normally. In the game, you'll actually fire most of the map, and you can see it does 445 hit points of damage. That means it's the top gun, capable of penetrating 13mm with a burst radius of 1.91 meters, which is very much similar to the Fifi, the 105 FH18B2, but it's got very good accuracy as well. Now, the reload time normally by book is 13.42 seconds, and we'll find out how quick it is for ProvoBob very shortly. Rounds out. Well, he seems to have got it down to just over 10 seconds. We'll find out the exact time sometime a little later. You see that BT7 is moving very quickly, which means he has to leave the target, but he fires a shot, and oh, he got a direct hit. And I think he actually made that Panzer 38 NA stop. And you can see the BT7's lost virtually all of his hit points. So it looks like that shell did a lot of damage. Lining up another shot, fires blind, fell short. I think he might be able to get that BT7 if he's silly enough to stay still for any length of time. He's sitting on that corner. You see the front of him. Well, he hit him again for 43, so he's now down to just 7 hit points. One more hit, and he's going to be out of the game. Aiming for the corner. So it just adjusts his aim. Oh, the guy actually knocked the tree down to provide a bit of extra cover. And that Panzer 38 Arty has come back. Let's see if we can get him. Rounds out. Direct hit! 128. That was a non-penetrating shot, but it's tracked him. And he's taking damage, which means that ProvoBob is picking up damage assist. Well, that one went way to the right. That's RNG for you. But he'll get another shot any second. Rounds out. That's a direct hit. 153, but again, non-penetrating shot, but left him on 25. And the kill goes in, so he picks up the damage assist from that busted track. Okay, we've got a Churchill 1. He's having to let it dial in because it does take a little while to reset. Rounds out. Okay, we've lost sight of that target. Let's pull back a bit. That's better. There for the Churchill 1. Again, just misses him. Lands to one side, but the Churchill 1's down. So, in this brief intermission, what can I tell you about this Arty? Well, they built 429 of them. 92 of those went to the Netherlands. And they saw service from 1965 until 1984. I had to get my facts right a lot on this Arty because one of the members of What Arty Noobs actually owns one of these. Yes, he's got the real thing and he's restoring it. It uses exactly the same engine as the AMX 13105, and I mentioned that in the previous video. Just missed that, Stuart. So there are plenty of engines about if he wants to fix the engine and get it to work. Oh, fantastic! Went right up his jacksie. He didn't really know much about that, other than the sharp pain in his rear. Okay, try for the Valentine. He's pulling away. Lead the target. That's it. Oh, and another hit. Perfect on the rear. It hit the weak spot right on the engine deck. And I think that's what slowed him down and stopped him. And the Valiant's down before the next shell goes in. Now, the AMX 13105 doesn't have much in the way of armour. It's only 14mm at the front, 20 at the sides and 15 at the rear. So it's a very lightly armoured SPG, but it was never really supposed to see the enemy face to face. Oh, he got the Su-85B! He fired a blind shot into those bushes. He didn't know if anyone was at home, but he got the Su-85 with a direct hit and wiped him out. That was pure guesswork and a very good shot. Wow, that took some doing. He's guessing at where the enemy might be. That's usually a good bet that somebody by those bushes. He spotted the enemy Arty, a Gorilla. He's dialing in to try and get a perfectly aimed shot, but before he can do it, the Gorilla goes down. There's probably some enemy up there. There's only 3 enemies left in this game. 2 of them are tank destroyers. One is a P-43. There's one of the tank destroyers, a Wolverine, the M10. He's almost ready to go. Rounds out. Oh, he gets another kill! Direct hit, and there's the P-43. So he was right, there was an enemy near there, and we know the other enemy's in the area because he just knocked over a tree. Yep, there's the other tank destroyer, the M8A1. That guy's hiding behind the house, but it's a destructible house. Rounds out. And a 4th kill! Can he get 5? It'd be nice if he can get this M8A1. He's having a great game. Rounds out. Just misses the chance to get it there. The M8A1 self-preservation pulled in and he pulled back, but he has been taken out. And that is the end of the game. So really great game for ProvoBob. That's the end of the first one. Let's have a look at the second. The second battle is an assault game on Karelia Assault, and he's on. It's Bill the Cop, and he's on the attack team. Game started. Well, I did mention that this is the AMX 13105 AM Mini 50, and Mini 50 means it was designed in 1950. They started working on it in 1940 to replace all the Arty they'd lost during the war, and they obviously worked on it based on the AMX 13-ton tank chassis, which of course they were already producing the AMX 1375. Now it's actually quite a good chassis, it's very durable, and so this made it quite a good little Arty. It started building it in the 1950s. They had the design set in the... Well, they didn't finalise the design until 1950, but they started building it in the 50s. And although it served from 1965 to 1984, it was eventually replaced by the AMX 13 F3AM, which was also based on the AMX 13-ton tank. Let's pull back a bit so we can see what Bill's doing. Bill the Cop is in the Thin clan, Thin Blue Line, which is the clan for policemen. So Bill the Cop is a cop. Yes, he's one of the guys who protects us every day. I suppose different countries have different attitudes towards police officers. In the UK, we do tend to have a lot of respect for the police because, after all, they do have to face the really the worst things in society, but most people respect the police because, after all, it's only the criminals that have to worry about the police. The rest of us, well, we behave, and therefore there's no really reason for us to... We actually respect the police because they protect us. Anyway, getting back to the battle. We just saw a Churchill, and there he is. He's disappearing up towards the right. I think Bill's missed that. It's Churchill 7. There you go. Tier 6 version. Trying to get a shot. Line him up. That's it. What I do is normally I try and... If I got a target like that that's moving backwards and forwards, I try and pick one fixed spot and then adjust accordingly afterwards. I think that's what Bill was doing. He's trying to work out where he needs to put the shell. Another enemy's been spotted. It's a 45 TP. But unfortunately we've got no shot on him because he's behind a rock. And the same is true with the Super Hellcat. In fact, not many enemy tanks are actually in sight at the moment. What's, I suppose, a bit worrying for the enemy is that the ones that are in sight now are actually further into their territory than they probably like. Oh, he got a blind kill! He knew the Super Hellcat was there. He fired the round in, lost sight of it, but he actually took him out. And now he can be a tremendous help to his team if he puts a round in that area there. Damages the KV-1 and that Ram 2. The shell overshot the KV-1, but the KV-1's about to expire if Bill can get the shot on target. Rounds out. Yes! 2 kills. That was a good shot. Didn't have much to work with, but it was the rear of the vehicle that was exposed, and that is the weakest part of the KV-1. Okay, VK3001H, 30-ton German medium tank. One of the predecessors, you might say, of the Tiger, but in actual fact it was a prototype. Okay, Nashorn. Now that's a nasty tank destroyer with an 88mm gun. Quite deadly, based on the same hull as the Hummel. Oh, and a kill shot! A direct hit. That, I think, was a penetrating round on the Hummel, on the Nashorn rather. Okay, VK3601H. Another prototype from the Tiger. Rounds out. That looked like it was a direct hit. I don't think there was an explosion with that one, so I suspect he did get it. Go for another. And he kills it with the second round. So that's 4 kills now for billthecop. Okay, I think there's a VK just behind that rock, the 3001H. Our guys are moving up. We've got an M4A1 moving up through the ramp in grid square D4. There's the VK. Went long. It landed behind him. Okay, enemy Arty's been spotted. Crusader SP, tier 7. So it's a 2 tiers higher than billthecop's Arty. Landed short. Now, if he's noticed those shells, he'll scarper out of that position as quickly as he can. If he doesn't scarper, he's going to be dead with the next shot. And he did move. Okay, we've got still 3G. Should be able to get some nice hit points out of him. Let the aim dial in, that's good. Mark the target, rounds out. Oh, and the target dies before the shell arrives. Okay, there's only 5 enemies left, but we've only got 4 minutes to kill them. Remember, it's a 10-minute battle. You've either got to capture the cap or kill all the enemy tanks. If you can't do that within the 10 minutes, the enemy wins. Lost sight of the Crusader, but I think he's somewhere in this back area. Now will be a good time for any of the players to actually get a bit closer. I'd be very much inclined to actually come off the cliff top on the horseshoe where he is at the moment and try and move through the southern areas along the 3 and the 4 line in the swamp area. That will make his shots a lot quicker to reach the target. Our guys are not moving quickly enough. They need to get a move on. It's getting close to the 3-minute mark. There's nobody in the north guarding our approach. The M10 RVFM is sitting in the swamp, but I don't think that billthecop has actually realised that there's nobody guarding him on his rear right. Okay, there's the Crusader. He did move. Okay, just narrowly missed him there. There's the Gorilla. Okay, can easily take the Gorilla out because it's fairly thin armour. Try and aim for the Arties if you can. Rounds out. Just missed. He picked up some stun there. Going for it. Rounds out. Close. I'm very worried about where that Churchill 7 is at the moment. I have a sneaking suspicion he's coming up behind us. That's the 2-minute warning. We're not moving fast enough. There's still 5 enemies there. Okay, T-3485M. Rounds out. Looks good. It is! 102 hit points. The problem is we've got to cap out, and it's the same rate at which you cap out for any other standard game. So it's going to take 1 minute 40 seconds, and we haven't got that now. There's the Churchill 7. He did return to his own cap area to protect it. But we're just not killing the enemy fast enough. And if we don't start capping soon, they're not going to kill all the enemy. The Crusaders trying to make a run for it along the north edge of the map. They just lost the Churchill 7. Yep, that Crusader's heading east as fast as he can to try and get away, because if he can stay alive and we forget to cap, then they win the game. Direct hits on the 45 TP. We're less than a minute to go. Crusader is getting close to our M10 RBFM. Bill's trying to kill the 45 TP. Splashes him for 61. There's only 2 enemies left, the Crusader and the 45 TP, and he's got 35 seconds to kill both. Narrowly missed it again. The M10's going after the Crusader. He's got the Crusader, so it's just this 45 TP we've got to kill. And he's going into cover. Rounds out. Oh, so close. 14 seconds left. Is this guy going to get a collarband off? I'm not sure if he will. Oh dear, he won. He's still alive, which means we've lost the game. And, well, you'll see the end of battle results after we see the next replay. The last replay is on the airfield map, West Spawn, and we're back to ProvoBob in the AMX 13105 AM Mini 50. Game started. Now the engine for this little tank is up front actually, it's right next door to the driver. The driver's on the left and the engine's on the right, so he gets almost a bit of central heating, you could say, from the engine, and he can fix anything if it goes wrong. Well, not really actually. In fact, in order to work on the engine you have to dismantle it inside the vehicle in order to extract it through the hatch, because the hatch is too small for the engine. I suppose that's the same with a lot of engines in a lot of tanks, but it's a lot of work to actually disassemble the engine inside the vehicle in order to then pull it out and then replace it, especially if you've got a lot of work to do on it. Now the 13-ton tank that this engine was designed for used to weigh 13 tons, but this vehicle is actually quite heavier. It's 18 tons, so given that it's got the same engine, that means it's actually got less engine power, and that's why this vehicle will only do 60 kilometers per hour, when the AMX 1375 goes a bit faster. It's also got a slower acceleration. Oh, good shot in the Ram too. Only 18 hit points left, but he got the kill. And that's the first kill for his team. Okay, he's looking to get a shot on that Leopard. It's the German Leopard, the VK1602, not the Tier 10 one. In fact, the VK is an experimental version of the light tank. Oh, Skoda T24. Oh, he managed to get that one to hit. 176 hit points, smacked the guy in the face. Now these columns are very awkward because they get in the way of some of the shots. Narrowly missed that Skoda T24. That's another design that the Germans turned down, that one. Okay, trying to get that Leopard pulled back. The actual name for the AMX 13105 AM Milli 50 was originally AMX Mark 61 variant AMX 105A. I know, quite a long name, but they shortened it in the end. It's a remarkable number of vehicles were actually based on the AMX 13-ton chassis because it was so reliable or so easy for them to make. And of course it was completely French. Grabs out. Oh, looks like he wasn't the only one trying to get a shot on that target as he went through that zone. And that's a direct hit on the OI. Now the other good thing about this Arty is you get a large amount of ammunition, 50 rounds, so quite a lot of ammunition to play with. Of course you've only got the HE, and you can see that ProvoBob's using premium consumables because that will speed up his reload. Lovely shot right into the side of the Leopard. He must have felt that. He's spinning on the spot, which is not a very good idea to do, not when you've been hit by Arty twice. And he gets hit again. So right now he's feeling, well, pretty deflated, and I'm sure that M7 could have killed him. But I think ProvoBob's going to get a go. Rounds out. That's another hit. He obviously has burnt his repair kit and he can't repair, which means he's stationary there until his tracks are fixed. Rounds out. Kill shot. Okay, so now ProvoBob can apply himself to that Churchill 1 and track that guy and keep him there between those pillars. Nicely dialed in. He can do it, and he's knocked a column down. That's the thing you see when you see ProvoBob playing the 105mm light field howitzer on the PP. He doesn't let it dial in, but on this Arty he does, and he gets fantastic results. I think this is much more suited to his playstyle. Go for the Wolverine. Nice direct hit again. He's getting superb results. In fact, something not a lot of people realise is that this is one of the few Artys that it's fairly easy to third mark because so few people play it. They use it to get through to the AMX 13 F3 because that's the 155mm tier 6 French Arty, and then they leave the AMX 13105 AM alone. But in actual fact, this Arty can be marked and marked fairly easily because so few people play it, so it's very much worthwhile getting into this little Arty and practicing it a lot. Now he's decided to move because there's nobody guarding him against that Churchill other than the T67 who's sitting in the cap, and the Panzer IV-H is also there, so he's relocated and the Panzer IV-H just went down. Okay, it's now looking a little bit better, but there's an enemy Leopard who's got fairly close, going for that M10 RBFM. Is that the one that he hit earlier? I thought it was a Wolverine. He's trying to lead the shot. Close. Very close, that one. Always a good idea to change position so that the enemy has got to get through 7 of your teammates before they can get to you. Okay, apparently there is an S35CA, the bathtub, somewhere in this vicinity, and he's probably behind that rock. No joy on that. Might be worth switching to the Churchill. He's very low on hit points. He has to let it dial in. He's almost at maximum range. Well, it's not maximum range actually. Sorry, well, I thought for a second that was greyed out. He's not at maximum range because he's actually maximum range is a lot further on this Arty. Now, can someone spot that Churchill for us? There's also that M10 RBFM somewhere in that area. He doesn't want to get too close because if he does get close enough, they might see him. Okay, oh, Churchill's gone. Okay. He's decided to move down to the south now. Again, that gives him the advantage of extra teammates between him and the enemy. I can tell you, I've actually played this little Arty in the shotgun mode, driving directly at the enemy. I actually took out a T-34-85M with a direct shot on the move from the 105mm gun. It is actually quite powerful. You'd be surprised the amount of damage you can do to an enemy vehicle when you're on the move in this thing. It also helps that it's got that 60 kilometers an hour top speed, because then you can rush the enemy before they know what's going on. You're on top of them. But as I say, it doesn't have much in the way of weight, so don't try to ram the enemy. Only 18.3 tons. There's the bathtub. He's dialing in. Perfect. Oh, great shot. 147. He's now one shot. Come on, Bob. Get the shell in there. Wasn't close enough to splash him, but he goes down to the next shot. There's only 3 enemies remaining. The M10 RBFM, a T67, and a gorilla. And we haven't found the gorilla yet. Now, the M10 was last seen on Temple Mountain, grid square G6, which is fairly close. But no, he's actually moved back towards the enemy area. There he is. Very low on hit points. He's gone. Ah, now we just lost the Excelsior to their gorilla. So I suspect he's somewhere in the south area of the map. Yep, he is actually hiding and he's just relocating. Trying to run away. Oh no, he's already gone past that point. The T-67 gets shotgunned by the gorilla, but he won't be able to stop himself from being killed because he's in reload, and that's him gone. So it's just the T-67 left. And the annoying thing is that now ProvoBob is the only member of his team left on this side of the map. All the others are over on the other side looking for the T-67. He was last seen up on this prominence, this area. Probably behind one of those rocks or those bushes. If one of our tanks gets close, he'll probably fire. My only concern is he might have headed west to get away from our guys, in which case he might be coming up on ProvoBob. None of them have found him yet, and he hasn't been tempted to fire at them. He's not there. No, ProvoBob's in danger because it could be he's over at this end of the map at this moment. In fact, he's in the north of the map, right in the centre. He didn't get far enough. That was a bit of a snap. Let it dial in before you shoot. He's lost sight of the target. He's behind that rock, I think. That was a good guess. Yes, he was. He just pulled back. Now, can he get the round on target? Pick a spot. Okay, he's trying to run away. And that's it. Game over, and they've capped out to win as well. So the game is over. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats for all three battles. In the first battle on Fisherman's Bay, ProvoBob managed to get an ace tanker in the AMX 13105 AM Mini 50, and this was the first ace tanker he's ever had in this vehicle, so I presume he was very, very pleased with that result. But he did get a lot of good shots, including a blind kill on an SU-85B in the bushes. He got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He got 4 exactly, and a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he ended up with 13. His win rate for the game was 4,708, which is Super Unicum standard. So let's have a look at team score. Well, you can see there was a number of bots on the enemy team in this game. In fact, there was only 7 live players on each team, and he didn't get the highest damage in the game. That went to a T67 who got a high caliber for 2,326 hit points. The third highest damage went to ProvoBob with 1,484, just after the Death Toaster got 1,734. When it came to kills, though, he was actually top with 4 kills. 2 kills went to the T67 and the KV-222, and everyone else either got 1 kill or nothing. And when it came to base XP, he's in 3rd place because the T67 managed to get 1,006, the KV-222 got 790, and ProvoBob got 677, which was enough for an ace tanker. And that gives you an indication of how easy it is to get an ace tanker, although that's not decrying what ProvoBob did. It's just that so few people play this that the XP is a lot, well, should we say, you get an ace tanker off a lower amount in this vehicle. Let's have a look at the detail report. 24 shots fired, 8 direct hits and 3 penetrations, 8 splash as well. Damage of 1,484 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. He damaged 7 of the enemy, killed 4, did 239 hit points of damage assistance. On a premium count, he earned 29,351 credits, and after a resupply of ammunition and consumables, he took away a profit of 4,791 credits. He received 1,015 XP, and there was no multipliers, so that's all the experience points he took away. So a very good first ace tanker. He got some great shots in that game, and I think it really did help that he was using premium consumables of coffee and croissant to increase the skill of his crew and give him better results. Let's have a look at the second game. That was with billthecop. Billthecop managed to get a second mark of excellence in his game, even though they lost because they couldn't kill that last remaining enemy, the 45 TP. He got a 3rd class tanker in the game, a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He got 4 exactly, the second mark of excellence, and a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He managed to get 9 in total. His win rate from the game was 1,959, which is just below the Unicum level. It's still very, very good indeed. And let's have a look at team score and see where it all ended up. Well, the highest damage in the game actually went to the 45 TP, who got 2,650 hit points. He was the last enemy left alive, and yes, he did pick up a Kolobanov because he was standing alone against 5 enemies at the point that the Crusader SP was taken out. He got a high caliber, Top Gun, and the Kolobanov in that game. The second highest damage was done by the Jagdpanther with 2,382, and the third highest damage was a Rudy, who managed to get 1,645 hit points. You can see that billthecop managed to get 852 hit points out of that game. When it came to kills, though, he shared the second spot because the 45 TP managed to get a Top Gun with 6 kills, and the Jagdpanther and billthecop managed to get 4 kills apiece. And then we've got 2 kills for the GW Panther, the M10 RBFM, and the T3485M on the enemy team. When it came to base XP, it's the 45 TP who did the best with 1,070, 926 to their Churchill 7, 652 to the T3485M, and I'm afraid, yes, billthecop only managed to get 355. He was on the losing team, and you get less XP on the losing team. Let's have a look at detail. 26 shots fired in this game, 6 direct hits and 1 penetration, 15 splash, damage of 852 hit points, all of it done at more than 300 meters. He damaged 8 in the enemy, killed 4, and did 198 hit points of damage assistance. On a free player count, he earned 11,591 credits, got 40,000 for completing the mission and events, 51,591 credits altogether. After ammunition resupply, he took away a profit of 46,651 credits, so he did a lot better on profit than ProvoBob did, but then he didn't use premium consumables. At least I don't remember him using premium consumables in that game. I'll have to recheck that. 355 base XP, 1000 for completing the mission events, 1355 experience points altogether. So a decent game there by billthecop. It was sad that they didn't get the win because that 45 TP managed to survive just long enough. I mean, billthecop was lobbing shells in from one direction and his teammate, I think it was in the T29, was trying to get him from the other direction, but they just couldn't kill him off in time before the clock ran out, and that enabled him to get that Kolobanov medal. So let's have a look at the third battle, and that was ProvoBob again, and yet another ace tanker in the AMX 13105 AM on Airfield. In this game, he managed to get the ace tanker, a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 10, and his win rate from the game was 5,501. So he's actually improving on his win rate, getting better. In this game, he did get the highest damage on his own team, but the second highest damage overall. The Gorilla managed to get a Gauze medal, high caliber, and a Confederate in that game. 2,610 hit points. He was really working hard in that game. And of course, ProvoBob managed to get 1,983, followed by the Type T34, got 1,802. When it came to kills, it was the Ram 2 did the best with 6 kills. He picked up a Top Gun. 4 kills went to the Type T34, and 3 kills went to the Gorilla and the M10 RBFM. And we got in joint 4th place ProvoBob with 2 kills and the Skoda T24 on the enemy team. When it came to base XP, he's actually in 4th place again. 991 for the Ram, 822 for the Type T34, 747 for the Panzer IV Ausführung H, and 724 for ProvoBob in his AMX 13105 AM. This time round he fired 34 rounds, 14 direct hits, 2 penetrations, 17 splash, damage of 1,983 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. He damaged 7 of the enemy, killed 2, did 314 hit points of damage assistance. On a premium count, he earned 37,305 credits, got 50,000 for completing the first win of the day, 87,305 credits altogether, and after resupply of ammunition and consumables, and yes, he was using coffee and croissant, he still made a profit of 60,845 credits altogether. 1,086 XP times 2 for the first victory, 2,172 experience points altogether. So 3 different battles on different maps, but 2 players are very much the same. You can see that ProvoBob is getting better as time goes by, and I wouldn't be surprised if he 3-marks this Arty, because it's possible to do it. As I mentioned during the battle, so few people play this Arty, and that's one of the reasons why it's one of the easiest ones to mark. So if you want to 3-mark an Arty, do it on this one first, and then work your way up on the other ones, especially ones which are difficult to play, like the SU-122A, because people don't play them because they find them difficult. So if you play them, you're at any standard, you're going to get better and better until you're able to 2-mark it, then 3-mark it, and I think you will actually then find it a lot of fun 3-marking Arties, because we've got a few members of What Arty Noobs who have 3-marked Arties recently. So if you enjoyed those replays, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a comment down below because it feeds the algorithm.
Alright, this one's gonna go in. It's my last one, I swear. Alright, can you open up?
And thank you for watching.